Hello students, so welcome back to another video of RNA Tech. So आज की इस वीडियो में हम लोग बात करने जा रहे हैं UCF Chimera. This is a bioinformatics visualization tool, or you can say a modeling tool. There are various functionalities available across this UCF Chimera tool. But today's focus will be on energy minimization, which is one of the an important aspect of this tool. And in this video, we'll be discussing a brief overview of Chimera, and the main focus of this video will be on the energy minimization. I'll be describing what is actually an energy minimization related to a protein molecule, and I'll show you a demo of tools like Yasara, gromacs, and I'll be giving a detailed explanation of Chimera tool, how you can use Chimera for energy minimization of any protein or any biochemical molecule. Basically, it is used for protein. Energy minimization is basically used for protein. So we will start with UCF Chimera and brief introduction. So what is a UCF Chimera? It is a tool, or it is a program for interactive visualization and analysis of molecular structures. So basically it is used for visualization of the various molecular structure and their further analysis and their related data, including density maps, trajectories, and sequence alignments. So it can be used for various purposes related to molecular structures and their analysis, visualization and their analysis. Now, what is energy minimization? Energy minimization is basically related to protein molecule. Now, suppose in day-to-day bioinformatics lab or bioinformatics research, there is a continuous need of development of protein structure which are not already available in the PDB database. So, first step would be to develop or to devise the protein structure by X-ray crystallography, but it is expensive. So what scientists normally do, they create they develop protein structure with the help of bioinformatics tools. So one of the tools which is used for structure creation is modeler. So and there are various other tools. UCF Camera, you can also use UCF Camera as a modeling tool for proteins, but the most I would say the most healthy tool or the accurate tool would be modeler. Now, after you have generated the protein structure, it is a very rough molecule of protein which you have developed. It has various, it would be having various energy imbalances, because if suppose there is if suppose the protein molecule which you have synthesized is like 1000 amino acid long, then each amino acid can adopt different spatial configuration with respect to the second amino acid. So let's suppose if there are only two amino acid molecules, like this is A and this is B, and let's suppose there is C1. So A can arrange itself in space in three different ways, according to B and according to C. Same wise B can arrange itself according to A and according to C. Same wise C can arrange itself according to A and according to B. So there is various combination. Now suppose this example is very small, so you have done it manually. Now let's suppose there are 1000 molecules or there are 1000 amino acid long protein, then it would be manually impossible to generate or to stipulate the configuration or to stipulate the spatial arrangement of all the 1000 amino acids with respect to each other. So modeler, no doubt we are using the Python script to develop the protein model, but still the structure which is being generated by modeler is very rough structure. So we have to refine that structure in terms of energy balances. No, so what is energy minimization? Energy minimization is a process, or it is a technique, or it is, you can say, it is a method to find a set of coordinates which represents the minimum energy conformation for the given structure. So you have to, what is the main aim of energy minimization? We have to find those particular coordinates where all amino acids present in that protein molecule, they arrange in a stable spatial configuration. Now there are different tools for doing energy minimization. One is Yasara, one is gromacs, and one is Chimera. So out of these, Yasara is very easy because on this you just have to upload your structure. This is a server. Yasara is a server. So on that platform, you just have to upload your PDB file and just have to submit that PDB file, and after depending upon the server load, those Yesara guys, they will send you the energy minimized structure of your protein. The one negative point with Yesara is you have to download a special utility developed by Yesara guys to visualize the energy minimized structure which they will send you. Now, depending upon the load on the server and the length of your protein molecule, you may get your protein molecule within a day or within a few hours, or you might have to wait for longer than 10 days or 20 days, because I have used this Yesara server for one time. On the first time which I have used, I have got my results in one day. But again, when I was using the server, was busy, so I had to wait for approximately 10 days to get my energy minimized structure. But I won't recommend Yesara server. It is a very basic server, or I would say it is for those who are very beginner, because you don't have to do anything. You just have to upload. You won't be learning anything in terms of energy minimization. What are the concepts which are used in energy minimization? What are the different parameters that you have to set? So I won't recommend. It is a very good tool for those who are very beginners in bioinformatics and they have to generate their energy minimized structure. On the other hand, CHIMERA is a step ahead of Yesara, and CHIMERA is a tool which is, I would say, it is an intermediate tool for intermediate user of bioinformatics. So while using CHIMERA, you would be asked to give certain parameters on what parameters you want to minimize your protein structure. So you have to have knowledge of those parameters in order to set those parameters depending upon your protein molecule. So CHIMERA is like on the second level, and the final level is your gromacs. Gromacs is like highly for advanced user of bioinformatics. It involves various kind of coding. It usually runs on a Unix server or the Unix machine. Though Windows 10 is also having a module to run gromacs, but I won't recommend using Windows 10. I would recommend only gromacs to run only on the Unix system, because their speed is very much faster. And on the other hand, Yesara, you won't need any system requirement, just because you just have to upload your protein molecule. On CHIMERA and gromacs, as the better the machine performance or the better the machine capacity, the sooner you will get the results. Because like suppose my machine is i5 and it is having 8 GB RAM and 2 cores. So if I run a protein molecule of like suppose 400 amino acid in CHIMERA for energy minimization, so it approximately took 4 hours. And if I have to do the same thing with gromacs, then it would take around 2 to 3 days while running on the gromacs. Now, if you have a better machine like i7 or i9 and a better, more number of cores and more good processor, then or more RAM, then both the speed will be dependent upon the capacity of your machine. So now let's end these topics and let's dive into the visualization of how you can use these tools. So first I will start with CHIMERA. So let's suppose I'll open a new window for CHIMERA. Now these are all the protein molecules which I have been using with CHIMERA for energy minimization. Now let's suppose I'll open a new molecule for CHIMERA. Let's suppose we'll take this one. Oh, there is nothing inside it. Okay, so this is already energy minimized. So let's say this. So now this is your protein molecule which you want to visualize, or which you want to minimize, for which you want to do the energy minimization. Now what is the process? You have to go to tools, and there are various options which you can use depending upon what you need. Let's suppose we have to do energy minimization, so we have to go on structure editing, and we have to go on minimize the structure. So remember this pathway, you have to go to tools and structure editing and then minimize the structure. After you click the minimize the structure option, then it will ask you some of the parameters which you should know about before starting your energy minimization of any protein Now let's suppose what is the first option it is saying? It is saying steeped descent steps. What does it mean? These are the certain parameters, or these are certain algorithms which Chimera tool used in order to find the minimum energy stable state for that protein molecule. So steeped descent molecule is the name itself is declaring that it is declining, or it is, you can say, if you are at the top of a hill and then you are moving downwards. So descent is you are moving downhill, and steepest is the steepest decline, or the sharpest decline possible from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. So these are the concepts I will discuss in some other video, the algorithms which the Chimera tool use. So steeped descent math algorithm is basically used to find the minimum energy state for that protein molecule, depending upon the or you can say declining, or you can say going downhill towards from the surface of the protein molecule to the center of the protein molecule. Now same wise, it is asking how many steps you want. You can say 500 steps or 1000 steps, but depending upon how many steps you give, the longer it will take to the energy minimize. Now another algorithm which Chimera uses, conjugate gradient algorithm, or here it is asking how many steps you want for conjugate gradient algorithm to run, or how many cycles do you want to run for conjugate gradient. So it is another algorithm which is used by Chimera. It is also kind of a similar algorithm like for the steeped descent algorithm, but it involves certain other parameters also. I'll make a separate video in which I'll describe all these algorithms which are used by Chimera. So here you can also define the number of steps or number of cycles which you want to run for conjugate gradient, and these are the another parameters, that steeped descent step size, how much at one time, how much you want to decline or how much you want to descend at each step. Now let's suppose we are giving it 0.02 Armstrong we are giving here. So let's suppose if you are at the top of the protein molecule, and if you are going downwards towards the center of the protein molecule, then at one time you are going a distance of 0.02 Armstrong. Same way this conjugate gradient step by step, here also you are going downwards with a length of 0.02 Armstrong. Now update interval, what is update interval? It is updating your every 10 seconds or every 10 minutes, it is updating the complete process. So hit the minimize button, then some other options will also come, like if you want to add hydrogen atoms, you have to select the protein molecules, and the protonation states for histidine you can select, or the protein or the amino acid which you want to select from, you can select from here which amino acid you want to have protonation state. And there are certain other options, they are not very important. And after clicking on OK, there will some other option will also come. So there are 3 windows will pop up for energy minimization step. So this is the last window, and this is the important field, or this is the important option which you have to remember, that you have to select the force field effect, or you have to select the force field in the option standard residues. So these are the various force field, or you can say these are the complete you can say the virtual environment which will create depending upon the protein molecule. Like it's suppose you are selecting amber FF14SB, then it is having a different virtual environment than the another force field FF03UA. So it is basically what it does is it puts your protein molecule into particular virtual environment, and based on that virtual environment the energy minimization process takes place. So now you have to, in order to select which of the force field you want to use, you have to know at least the basics of these force field, that what kind of protein molecule you are using and what kind of properties all the force fields are having. So depending upon the properties of your protein and the properties of this force field, you have to make a best combination possible in order to get the best results for your protein energy minimized protein structure. So after this you will select OK, and your energy minimization step will start. As you can see here, it is defining amber charges and it is performing various steps. The dock prepared finished, it is finishing the steps, It is also showing 137 atoms and 67 bonds. So dock prep finished. It is likewise it is keep on showing the various steps which is being performed. So this is a big molecule and it will take approximately 4 hours on my machine. So I'll end this and I'll show you the result. Because I've already performed energy minimization of this particular molecule, so I will stop this and I'll show you the energy minimized structure. So how you can, this is, the structure will look approximately same. You won't find visually any difference in the structure which you have submitted earlier and the energy minimized structure. But when you calculate the energy or when you visualize the energy of the initial molecule, there will be a huge difference in the energy between the initial molecule which you have submitted and the energy minimized structure, which we can see those parameters or those data of energy from this option. You have to go to a tool and then you have to go to structure analysis and then you have to go to define or attribute calculator. After this another pop-up will come and you have to click OK and then you have to click on open reply logs. So what is, you can see here that all the parameters which you have selected, this is the protein molecule which you have selected, and so what is the important parameter which you have to check from here? This is the initial energy. So as you can see, the initial energy of this particular protein molecule was this much. So it is too much high energy for a protein molecule to get stabilized. The concept of energy is as low as energy, as low as energy is, the higher the stability of that protein molecule. So it should be always in negative, at least if it is not in positive. So it should be always in negative if it is not very much low value. But a higher positive value is not at all recommended, because if you take this protein molecule without energy minimization and perform further simulation or MD simulation or further analysis, then you will not be getting actual results, because your protein molecule itself is not stabilized. So if you want to do, let's suppose, docking of this protein molecule to some other ligand or some other protein molecule, then the results which you will be getting will be you can say they won't be considered as good results, because the protein molecule you are taking is not stable in itself. So as you can see here, the initial energy of this protein molecule is 2,33,954 kilojoule per mole. Now if you see, after the completion of the process, after 12 steps of the process, the potential energy of this molecule is this much. It has reduced so much, it is come into negative 62,352 kilojoule per mole. So this is how you can calculate the initial energy and the final energy of protein molecule using the CHIMERA. So this is after you can note down these results, and you can save this protein molecule from file and save PDB if you want to save the molecule in the PDB format, if you want to save in the JPG or PNG format, whichever format you want to select, EPS format, PS format, TIFF format, whichever format you want to select, you can select and you can save your molecule. Okay. Now there are other options also. Let me discuss other options, like you can change the color of the protein molecule, the complete molecule. You can change the color of the complete protein molecule. You can also add so these are various functionalities as and जितना आप लोग इस protein इस tool को use करोगे, the more you will learn. Another important thing is the CHIMERA is not an underdeveloped tool. I mean the team which has developed this CHIMERA tool has stopped working on the future development of this tool, and the last update was in 2018. So it is mentioned on the UCF Camera website that it is not under active development. So whatever development has been done by the team is being completed, or they don't want to further develop this tool. So let's end this video because it is already long video, 20 minutes video. I want to discuss with you the Yasara server also. Let's see if Yasara server is working. Yasara energy minimization server. So this is how it will look. Yasara energy minimization server. You just have to put your email ID here. you have to put either you have to put your PDB ID from the PDB database, or you can submit your own PDB file which you have developed from a modeler or any other modeling software. Now just you have to submit your, and you will be getting a mail from the Yasara server or Yasara people that your structure has been submitted, and you will also get the mail once the energy minimization process has been completed. Now this is what I was talking about. Since this server is a free service, it is not our goal to make it super convenient like Yasara application itself. Please don't be annoyed that you have to download free Yasara view to open the result and convert them to your favorite format. So now this is what I was talking about, that the energy minimized structure which they will send you, it is not in the PDB format. It is a format which you have to download the Yasara view application, and from that application you can convert that into the desired format, PDB format, PNG format, whichever you want to save your protein molecule. So this is one of the drawback of this Yasara server. So let's end this server. Let's end this video about gromacs. I have not started using gromacs because it requires a Unix system. So I'm in process of acquiring a Unix machine. Then I'll start learning the gromacs and the Python scripts which are used for energy minimization and molecular MD simulations. So as soon as I'll finish those, I'll put a video for those as well. Okay, thank you.